Hello, welcome to this webinar. I think you won the lottery and you're the only student, so you get some good personal attention. So I want to welcome you to this webinar. If are you available to introduce yourself to us? My name is Dr. Riles. I'm one of the professors in this program, and I'm happy to be talking to you today about your program. So I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Is it Young Pin? Is that correct?
Yes, it's Yun Peng.
Great. Nice to meet you. And my colleague, Ms. Yando, is here with us as well. And so we want to make this, interactive event. And because you're here and don't feel like we're just talking to you. I don't want to just be a talking head as we go through this. I want to interact with you as much as possible. And so if you got some questions, just pop them in there. So we'll get started, and welcome to today's webinar. This is going to be focus on graduate and undergraduate programs. So could I ask you, are you interested in a Bachelor of Science degree or a Master of Science degree?
Master Science of degree.
Master of Science. Okay, great. So I'll focus some of my comments around the Master of Science in the graduate programs. So as I mentioned earlier, I am the Associate Director, and I'm one of the professors in the program. I'm joined by my colleague, Miss Yandel. You will hear from her a little bit later, and I'm excited to serve as one of the hosts to this webinar to hopefully give you some information. We're going to cover a lot of ground and answer some of your questions, have a good time during this short time. As I mentioned, I want this webinar to be as interactive as possible. So just don't feel like you're interrupting. If you just raise your hand, speak up and say, hey, what are you talking about here? I got a question. So feel free to jump in. We want this to be as interactive as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about SoPA. You may have heard, I know you've heard about Tulane because you're here at this webinar, but a lot are not familiar with SoPA and the history. One of the things that I find very important that I like to share about our school, SoPA, that our history actually goes back a long time. This school, the School of Professional Advancement, is focused on working adults that has commitments, whether it's life, family, other jobs, full-time jobs. So a lot of our classes are catered towards working adults, evenings, nights, online, things like that. And it's very centered towards applied learning. We in SoPA are highly diverse. We have students from all backgrounds that are in age ranges from 17 to 77. The university, Tulane University, was founded in 1834. It goes back a pretty good long time in history, but the predecessor to SoPA was formed in 1886, shortly after the university was formed. It was started as an outreach division with the mission to offer classes to teachers to educate other young adults as well. Ever since then, it's been through various iterations. It was named University College in 1942. And after Hurricane Katrina, it was named the School of Continuing Studies. And most recently, in 2017, it was renamed to what you see today, the School of Professional Advancement, or SoPA. And this is kind of unique for a university like Tulane, as far as an elite private university having this type of long-term commitment to applied learning that we feel like is relevant to the workplace. So you're probably asking the question, why SoPA? So let's go ahead and move forward just a little bit here. All right, we'll walk through some of these things we see on the screen here. In higher education today, you've got, as a potential student, you've got access to way more educational programs than ever. So why choose Tulane SoPA over all the other options? Well, number one, if you're interested in the master's degree, is 100% online. So you got some flexibility there. And we have been doing online way before online was cool. And then when the COVID pandemic hit, everybody decided to be online. Well, we've been researching. We spent lots amount of time, effort, and money researching the best way to develop online courses. We did this by working with expert instructional designers, graphic artists, video editors, subject matter experts, and faculty to develop these online courses. And so when we talk about the next little icon there is our programs and faculty. our programs, our information technology programs, is focused on purpose built for industry. So yeah, you're going to learn academic concepts. You're going to learn about information technology. You're going to learn about cybersecurity. But how does it apply to actual workplace? What can you do? We're going to give you actual skills that you can not only get an A in a class and get your degree and credentials, but also carry back to the workplace as well. We do this by working with our industry advisory board. Our industry advisory board is some expert leaders, CIOs, CISOs, national and global companies. They kind of give us some feedback of what type of skills the students should be learning so that it can translate to jobs when you graduate. And that's kind of what we want. And there's some academic and applied focus. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And there's the student support. Ms. Yandel is going to talk about that a little bit later. But basically, you're not just thrown into a class and saying good luck. You become part of this Tulane family as a whole plethora of services given to you as a student beyond the classroom. Affordability and flexibility. Most students think about Tulane, it's only for the rich people. It's only for the folks with an outstanding GPA you can't get somewhere else. Well, with Tulane SoPA, you'd be surprised that it's actually very affordable, especially for an elite private university like Tulane. We offer very affordable rates, and there's a lot of scholarship opportunities as well. And then there's some flexibility. I mentioned that earlier. All the online classes, since you're interested in graduate programs, they're all online. So, and some of them are offered where you meet with your instructor once a week in a class via Zoom, like you're doing now, or sometimes it's asynchronous. You work through the coursework as you can and meet with the instructor during office hours or once a month. And there's some flexibility here. We're not very structured. So you can take one class a semester and spread your academic career over several years to fit your schedule. Or if you really want to graduate, you can take more classes and get your degree done in a year and a half or 2 years. So this is your experience. We're here to give it to you. And the final icon on the screen is just that Tulane shield. I mean, what more can be said? Having Tulane on your resume will open many doors, which I'm sure you're aware, and we can talk to you about that as well. So I talked about online classes. So let's go ahead and jump into that just a little bit. Why online, especially for this master's degree? Well, what I'm going to tell you that the online classes you're going to experience in this program is not like some historical or legacy online classes you may have experienced in the past. You're not going to be given a reading assignment and watch this video and then write a paper about it and submit it and barely interact with your instructors. Your faculty are in it with you day in and day out. Most of our online classes are asynchronously delivered. So it's almost the exact same experience as coming to the classroom, coming and sitting down in one of our buildings, sitting face-to-face with the instructor. We meet by Zoom, you work on group projects, and you'll submit, you do everything as you normally would in the on-ground class, but you have the flexibility to do it from your living room or your workplace or wherever you have internet connection. So it's not like your typical online class. And also, I want to tell you that we have a lot of experience in the online world. You will meet other students. You'll build long-lasting relationships, not only with other students, your peers, but your instructors as well. And we know how to balance the need. We know you're a working adult. We know that we cater our classes and our programs around working adults with other commitments that you have to deal with. And now you got to stack on a full-time or part-time graduate degree. I can feel your pain. I've been there and done that. I wasn't until my 30s till I started my first graduate degree. And that's when I really, truly learned to love taking classes and love being a part of this community of higher education, because I had a great experience. And I want to pass that same experience on to you as you come into our program as well. So let's talk about the different programs of study that you'll have as a master's candidate into our program. But just to briefly, let's cover about online here real quick. We have you can see the numbers here, a wide scale. We've got over 13,000 students have completed 30,000 plus hours of coursework since 2018. We've got 8 different master's degree. This is all across SoPA, and all of our faculty have been trained specifically to deliver online instruction, to teach online. It's different having a faculty member that's used to being in front of a classroom. Oh, now you're going to teach online, and the cameras in the back of class. You can't really see what's going on, ask questions. These are very interactive online classes. So let's get into the programs, because I know you're going to have some questions about that. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So in the higher education world, our terminology is sometimes a little different. We have a department, which is the information technology department. And in this department, we offer degrees, either an undergraduate degree or a graduate degree, a Bachelor of Science or a Master's of Science. And under that, there's different programs inside of there. So let's go ahead and move forward and talk about what you want to hear about is the master's degree. So let's go ahead and skip over the bachelor's undergraduate. Let's go and talk about the master's degree. So I'm going to turn it back over to you and ask you a question. Are you interested in cybersecurity or information, just a general information technology degree? What's your focus you're thinking about joining this program?
I'm currently an auditor in the bank, First Horizon Bank. So I also work on some IT auditing. So I was thinking probably to get a degree in like IT or cybersecurity would be much helpful to my career.
Yeah, absolutely. It would definitely be helpful to your career. There's a fintech, you work in a financial institution, and the discipline is fintech, and there's finsec tech where you're doing financial security as well. It would definitely be beneficial to your career. So as an auditor, are you doing IT auditing or financial auditing currently?
Actually, I'm doing both. Like I'm in the operation team. So
Okay.
kind of like also operation financial, and I'm specifically like responsible for the IT part, like do
Outstanding.
the access management.
So your undergraduate degree, is it in technology?
No, that's the
Okay.
point. That's why I want to get a master degree in the technology, because I was a journalism major with a economic minor.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
the reason I asked that is because where we would put you into the program. How long have you been? What type of how long have you been in IT with your bank there?
about 2 years.
About 2 years. Okay. Let's go to the next slide if you don't mind. Let's look at this slide right here. So this is what I think would be perfect for you. This is exactly what you're describing. This is, if you have a journalism undergraduate degree, but now you want to expand and become an IT expert, we've got options. And once you apply, and Brittany would tell you about the application process, but once you apply, we will review your application, because we want to set you up for success. If you haven't had an IT undergraduate degree, we don't want to throw you in there into a master's program and you're not set up for success with the proper prerequisites, because we want you to pass. We want you to get an A, and we want you to graduate, and we want you to have that master's degree. So it might be, depending on your skill level, depending on what you're doing now, this may be a little more appropriate for you. We'll see, because students love this. For people like you who want to get some additional skills but aren't quite ready for the advanced classes yet, this is kind of a bridge. So what you're going to learn in this program, this is for people just like you, has a journalism degree or an accounting degree or something that's not technology, but they want to go forward. You get a certification. This is a cyber fundamentals graduate cert. It's real quick. It's only 18 hours. You can knock it out, in a year or even less. And you'll take IT fundamentals, you'll take application development fundamentals, cybersecurity fundamentals, networks and systems. You'll learn the basics of the soup to nuts, what IT is all about, IT and cyber. And then that'll give you a well-rounded base. And then from that, once you complete that, you'll get a certificate. You can put that certificate on your resume. You can claim it as a credential on your LinkedIn. And sometimes that opens up career opportunities, because you get a graduate certificate from Tulane in cyber fundamentals. Now, also the cool thing about it, once you pass that, you will be automatically entered to get approval to get involved in the full master's program. Because right now, if you apply for the master's program, we're going to evaluate your resume, look at your undergraduate transcript, and be sure it meets all the things that Brittany's going to tell you about. And unfortunately, we have a lot of people apply for our graduate programs, but not everybody gets just accepted because it is tough classes. We want to set you up for success. So this program right here may be a good avenue for you, depending on how your application looks, that you can still get started. And the cool thing about it, you can still get, at the end of it, you get a credential, you get a graduate certificate, but also you're guaranteed admission into the full Master of Science program once you complete this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so this certificate is like a prerequisite for the master's.
Yeah, it's not, if you had a undergraduate degree in technology, or you've been working in the IT field for 10 years and has a ton of experience, then you might not need this prerequisite.
Okay.
But you may need it depending on, where you are in your career. And since there's not a IT degree as undergraduate level. So that's what this is. But this is an awesome program by itself. You'll have the skill sets to learn everything about IT, from cloud to databases, to systems, to cybersecurity, to how it all kind of fits together. Then that's like you said, you well said, it's a prerequisite stepping stone to get to the full master's degree.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. And so let's go forward a little bit, and we talked about that. So let's go here. And so I mentioned this a little bit earlier. What makes Tulane SoPA a little bit different? Well, one, that bridge program is unique. You don't find that everywhere. A lot of programs at the higher level, similar schools like Tulane, either you get accepted to the graduate program or you don't. If you don't get accepted, then good luck. So we offer this other opportunity. You can still get involved and learn some of those foundational skills. And I mentioned earlier, it's surprisingly affordable. We're compared with state schools all around the nation, and you can get your graduate degree or your graduate certificate in much more affordable than what you would think. And you get that is from a top 50, well-known elite private university that everybody knows about. And I'm going to talk about faculty in just a second, but I was kind of highlight kind of all this stuff out here and put it and sum it up real quickly. When we created this program, we consulted our current students, we consulted our alumni, everybody who graduated that's now out in the field, our faculty who teach these courses, and our industry advisory board. I mentioned them a little bit earlier. These are executives that are out hiring graduates. And so we consulted all four and say, how should we build the best information technology program that we could? And it come down to three things: technical acumen, business leadership, and communication skills. So a lot of technology schools out there, college universities, teach technical skills, which is great. We'll teach you technical skills as well. But what was lacking is the business skills and the communication skills. We're going to teach you how to interact with the rest of the business. We're going to teach you how to communicate to a non-technical audience, how to communicate technical terms to a non-technical audience. In your case, we're also going to teach you the technical acumen as well. By doing that, you're going to have hands-on labs. You see on there, we have over 250 labs. You're not just going to read a book about how technology works. You're actually going to get in there and work with technology. You're going to do commands and work with equipment and routers. And on the cybersecurity perspective, you're going to do, you talked about financial auditing. You're actually going to do cybersecurity auditing of malware attacks and system analysis and real world type situation, using the same type tools, techniques, and equipment that you'll use out in the real world as well. And with our graduate program, there's no GRE required. And as mentioned earlier, the stackable certificate. So you can take that foundational certificate and stack it onto your full MS degree. So let's talk about our faculty real quick. So our faculty are I can't praise enough our faculty are amazing. So what we don't have is a bunch of stuffy academics that's written a bunch of papers and read a bunch of books, and they try to tell you how things work. Our faculty is just the opposite. They have advanced degrees. They're well qualified to teach, but the difference is they have been there, done that, and bought the t-shirts. These are executives in the IT field, current and former executives in top tier companies and business organizations. Here's just the four you see on your screen is just a small sampling. I invite you to go to our website. The URL is there at the bottom, and we can share that with you. You can go look at the bios of our faculty. These are the faculty members that will be interacting with you during your classes. These are experts in the field. They know how things work in the real world, and they can teach you how to apply the academic skills to make it happen. And most importantly about our faculty, it's an opportunity for networking with other students, but also these faculty members are decision makers and thought leaders in the IT industry. And a lot of times it leads to jobs, it leads to internships, it leads to just expanding your professional network in the IT space. So let's talk about some of our career options. We can go ahead and skip this slide, go to the Masters of Science career. So what you're looking for here, either in the MS in the cybersecurity management or the MS in IT management, is this executive level. We don't want to teach you just to be, a widget maker, turning all the nerd knobs and typing in the commands and that kind of stuff. Once you complete the Master of Science degree, we want you to be a leader in the IT space, a thought leader, a team leader, a director. The ultimate goal in both of these is the Chief Information Officer role or the Chief Information Security Officer role. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I guarantee you once you graduate the program, you'll get one of these jobs. But I will say a lot of our graduates do. But there's other jobs as well leading up to that. You've got Director of Data Quality, Security Architect, Security Administrator, Enterprise Architect, Manager of IT, Director of IT. You can see that the Master of Science degree is some of your classes is focused on technical skills, actual what commands to type and all the nerdy geeky stuff of IT and cyber, but some of the classes are focused on the business skills, the aspects to be a leader in the technical space. So with that, I'm going to take a break for a second and turn it over to my colleague Brittany to talk about what it means to be part of this Tulane family.
Thank you. All right. So being a part of the Tulane family is a great place to be. So once you become a student here, you are automatically connected to a lot of different support networks. The first is an academic advisor, which is what my role is. We have 4 current academic advisors at SoPA. So all of our programs have a dedicated advisor, and that person helps you with course selection, course sequencing, registration issues, really anything. So if you have a question that you're not really sure who to ask on campus, your advisor would be your first point of contact there. So they kind of act as a resource liaison for you for anything and everything while you're here. Aside from advisors, we also have expert faculty with industry experience, as Dr. Riles was mentioning earlier. We also have a dedicated career advisor. Her name is Miss Cynthia Washington, and she can work with you on anything related to careers. So, if you're making a jump into a new career, she can help you with that transition. If you need to update your resume, maybe do a mock interview, maybe you just have some general questions about where to start looking for job postings, she can be a really great resource there. And Cynthia is available to you as a student and then also as an alumni. And speaking of alumni, we have a huge network of program peers and Tulane alumni. So as soon as you graduate with us, you are automatically added to the Tulane Alumni Network, which is very huge. It's international at this point. So, if you're looking into, I had an experience in business school where a student was looking into a company that they wanted to work for, jumped into the alumni network, found a couple of connections there and reached out and was able to connect with some people there. So just a lot of great resources while you're a student here and then also while you finish and beyond. We do also offer credit for prior learning. So at SoPA, we know that students who come for a bachelor's or a master's, they might be coming to us as adult learners who have been in the workforce for some time. Maybe they've been doing specific work within the program that they're coming to earn a degree in. So if that's the case, you can earn credit for prior learning. So undergraduate students, that would be 24 credits, but for graduate students, you can earn up to 6 credits of portfolio assessment. If that's something that you are interested in learning more about, you can reach out to me, your advisor, or any of the advisors, and we'd be happy to get you started there. Applying is very simple, and since you're here today, you actually have your graduate application fee waived. So you do need to log in and complete the application and the essay. If applicable, you'll have a clear government ID ready to upload. And then all of your transcripts need to be sent, and those do need to be official transcripts. So either they come through the snail mail in an official sealed envelope, or most schools at this point, you can go to their website and order it electronically online. And if that's probably the best way to do it, we get those transcripts most quickly going that route. And those can be sent to SoPA records at tulane.edu, and I'll put that in the chat so that you have that address. The GRE is not required, so you won't need to upload anything there. All right, so application deadline. So for summer, you are looking at May 1st, and then for fall, that's August 1st. One thing to point out is that we do offer an early enrollment scholarship. So for students in their first semester, you know, they're just starting, they're just enrolling in their first courses. If you enroll by a specific date, you can receive $500 towards your first semester of tuition. It's a $500 scholarship, essentially. So for summer, you would need to be enrolled by April 25th. And then for fall, you would need to be enrolled by June 1st. SoPA is fairly affordable compared to a lot of the programs in our same areas or levels. So tuition is $576 a credit for undergraduate students, or $1,119 a credit for graduate students. Please keep in mind that courses are 3 credits each. So for one course, you would be looking at multiplying that 1,119 by 3, and that would be your base tuition. We do offer financial aid, and we have a lot of financial assistance options available through SoPA and through Tulane as a whole. We accept federal grants and federal loans. We also have the Yellow Ribbon program. We have a 20% tuition discount for a good amount of students who might qualify for that. We list a couple of them here, but it's recently expanded. So I'll put the link in the chat for that as well. So you can see if you can qualify for a 20% tuition discount if you are in one of those populations. And then of course we have the up to 24 hours of credit for prior learning, or 6 credits for graduate students. All right.
Well, this is the time when we turn it over to you and see if you have any questions for us. You'll see my colleagues' information on the screen there, Professor Ralph Russo. You can definitely reach out to him. He's the program director, or you can reach out to me as well. I'll put my email in the chat. But I'm gonna see if you have any questions for me or Brittany.
So let's say if I apply for that certificate, like as a prerequisite, like what time would the classes be? Like, do I choose the class or?
Yeah, great question. So we do the traditional academic semester, spring, summer, fall. And so the classes will, for the summer semester, will start, gosh, Brittany, when are they? Sometime mid-May, I think.
Yeah, I was just pulling that up. I think it's May, for the coming summer, I believe it's May 16th is when they start.
So mid-May to August, then in the fall semester, mid-August to December. That's when they, in the actual day of the week, will depend on what class you register for. You can see what classes. Let me pull up that schedule right now. You can go to Tulane schedule classes. Let me see what we have offered in this summer, in the fall. And that way I can tell you what day of the week they're going on. So so I'm going to look at. Let's look at the. Would you be interested in the summer or the fall semester?
It doesn't matter. Probably
okay,
fall.
Probably fall.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look at fall then. And let's see. find those classes. I can tell you exactly. All right, so we'll have the IT fundamentals class. It's on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Central. And then there's an application development fundamentals, and it's a fully online asynchronous class. So you work on that coursework as your time allows you. So you got a Monday night class and then an asynchronous class. And then let's see, those are the two that will be offered in the fall. Just for fun, I'm gonna look for summer as well and see what we're offering. And looks like networks and systems is taught by me. So if you take that class this summer, that'd be on Tuesday nights. And so that's one of the bridge courses you could take if you want to get started this summer. You get to see my smiling face again on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yep. And classes start typically the ones that start at 6 p.m. go for about 2.5 hours. That's 6 p.m. Central. Sometimes that, the instructor will let you out a little bit early. Sometimes you don't meet every single week, but but if you plan for that, you should be pretty good.
Okay. So the application process for the certificate would be the same as for the graduates, like degrees.
Yes, except you don't have as much prerequisites. So Brittany, you can kind of fill in the blanks there. Because you don't have an IT degree, that's okay. That's waived. You don't have the IT experience, okay, that's waived. So, but you still go through the same process. But if you have an undergraduate degree, and I don't know what the other requirements are, Brittany. Basically, if you have an undergraduate degree in any discipline and you have fairly decent grades, you'll get accepted into that certificate program.
Yeah. So that certificate program is essentially designed for, maybe not designed for, but it kind of caters to those students that don't really have that background in cybersecurity, or maybe don't have as much as they would like to go automatically into that master's. So you do, still have to do the application process, but the Cyber Tech Fundamental Certificate is definitely a little bit different in terms of admissions requirements. It's not as I don't know, particular, I guess. I'm not sure if that's the right word, Bill. You don't have to have a particular degree, as long as you did well in your undergrad and you have an undergrad degree, and that you've shown us that you are interested in learning about cyber technology, then you will have a good chance of getting in.
Yeah, I'll add to that, Brittany. Yeah, when I review all those applications, myself and Professor Russo, not as much scrutiny is given to the Cyber Fundamentals certificate. If you have, I think a 3.0, and I think you said journalism undergraduate degree, you get decent grades, and you have to write a little short essay, but just tell us why you want to go into cybersecurity or IT, why you think technology will help you and what you're interested in. And if everything looks on schedule, you'll be accepted into that. That's what that program's for. We don't like to deny people in that program because it is a stepping stone to get into the full master's degree.
Okay. Do I also need like the recommendation letters?
No, you do not. Not for that. You should be good to go. Mainly the key things is your undergraduate transcript and your written essay, and then everything that's listed in that application. You shouldn't need any recommendation letters to get in that program.
Okay, gotcha.
You had some great questions. I love it when we have some good questions like that. Give you some feedback. Well, you got our information. You got my email address. If you think of something, we get off this call, you're like, oh man, I should have asked him that. Send me an email. I'm here for you. If you want to schedule another meeting one-on-one, I'm happy to talk to you as well. I cannot wait to see you in class and welcome you to the Tulane family.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your time and the information. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Brittany.
You're welcome. Have a great one.
You too. Thanks. Okay, bye-bye.